Power programs on the field today. Bergen Catholic pulls away in the second half. Defense setting the tone at St. Joe's. Fans, too. Who owns the public schools might be a team in North 1 Group 5. Montclair makes its case, but this bracket's also got Union City. Title defense for Phillipsburg. At this point, Mendham has had enough of the state liners. Thanks, but no thanks. Teams opting out of the playoffs, instead choosing the consolation round. Those stories and a look ahead to the semifinals on this playoff edition of Saturday Night Football. Welcome in, everyone. I'm Nick Medanis. First round of the playoffs done tonight. We've got semifinals, then Thanksgiving, followed by championship weekend starting December 5th. Let's start tonight here in Middlesex County. Piscataway is the 2 seed in North 2 Group 5. The Chiefs host Bayonne. Close game, third quarter, Piscataway up 10-zip, and now they get going. Elijah Barnwell breaks free. 49 yards. Touchdown Piscataway. Bayonne needs to answer before this thing gets away. They do. John Mullen goes deep. Damon Small has it, cutting the lead to 24-6. Piscataway soon after closing the door on a possible comeback. Does anybody run it better than them? They score 42 in the second half, and they play tough defense also. 52-6 is the final. They get Elizabeth in the semifinals.
One step is done. It's behind us. We got to move on, get ready for next week.
I didn't see any panic today when things didn't go well or penalties cost us. We just played snap to snap, and I think that's what we learned from South Brunswick.
South Brunswick being their only loss. Next up, Elizabeth. How about the Montclair seniors? 2 straight perfect seasons, now 8-1, eyeing a third title. Montclair hosting Livingston in round 1 of the playoffs. Second quarter, Montclair up 13-0 and driving. Elijah Robinson finds, yes, Elijah Robinson across the middle. First down, Mounties. Next play, Robinson looks deep. That's Daniel Webb down the sideline for a 39-yard touchdown. Montclair up 20-0. Later in the second quarter, Robinson looking again toward Webb. This time in double coverage, no problem. Makes the catch, breaks free, 65 yards. Webb had 107 yards, 2 scores. Elijah Robinson, 403 yards passing, 6 TDs. 40-6 Montclair. Hackensack at North Bergen in the fourth. Hackensack's Reggie Curry doing his best to keep the drive alive. Breaks free with a 40-yard run. Hackensack running all over North Bergen. Joshua Dubois getting in on the act. 33-yard score, 44-20 Hackensack. They win 44-27, but the coach not yet satisfied.
It's time to, step it up and move to the next level. And the next level is a first-round win, just 1-0. That's it. It's a new season.
We can take it to the next level. We have the talent, we have the coaches, we have the right game plan, and we can go as far as we want to go.
Also in that bracket, a tough Union City team getting past Ridgewood in round 1. Jonathan Castellano with a TD. Ridgewood trying to answer back, but Daquan Kelly comes up with a pick. That sets him up for this. It's Rinaldi Tavares to Steven Sanchez. 17 yards for the touchdown. Union City puts on a show. 54-13, they will face Passaic Tech. Now to those power programs in North Jersey. Bergen Catholic today hosting Paul VI. Second quarter, Paul VI with the ball. How about the pressure? Connor O'Brien there for the sack. Crusaders having their way on offense for much of the first half. Corey Russo breaks free. 40 yards to the house. It's 27-0 Bergen Catholic. You think it's probably over now, but the visitors from South Jersey make a late run in the first half. Donnell Schuler deep to Stephon Moore Green. They're on the board, and they also have a 6'4 receiver going to Penn State. So in the final seconds before the break, Schuler goes up high to Irvin Charles. It's down to a 2-score game at the half. BC sluggish going in, but not so in the third quarter. Here's Russo. A 20-yard touchdown run, and the Crusaders are about ready to pull away. Still in the third, they block a punt. Matt Sherlock and Ryan McCarthy combined They roll 49-20. Kyle Ellerson adding another. Bergen Catholic back in the semifinals. They will face our overall #1 team, St. Peter's Prep. Other semifinal is another showdown. This could be good between Don Bosco and Paramus Catholic. This is video from last year. It is a rematch. Jabril Peppers leading the Paladins in that game, decided by a point. Earlier this season, PC beats Bosco by a touchdown. Paramus Catholic is the #1 seed in this bracket, and Bosco is #4. St. Joseph Regional still owns the Gillen Trophy. It goes to our top team, but what a wild year. Bergen beats Joes. Bergen loses to Paramus Catholic. Joes handles Paramus Catholic. Non-public Group 3 right now is the focus for Joes. Oh yeah, and Bosco on Thanksgiving. Camden Catholic's quarterback got hurt on the first play. Here's the backup. That's an overthrow. St. Joe's there for the interception. It's John Giles Harris. Takes it down to the 8-yard line. A couple plays later, the handoff is to Mike Bautista, and he stretches this thing for 6. More from the Joes defense. Louis Asias gets the interception, then Jack Walsh goes to the air for the score. Hugo Azema with the catch, 45 yards. St. Joe's rolls 45-32. Joe's no doubt had an eye on this game. They will once again face Red Bank Catholic, this time at Red Bank Catholic. Joe's ending their run 2 years in a row. Eddie Hahn of RBC hoping this time it could be different. Later against Bishop Eustace. Hahn connecting with Jamie Gordonier. He's a linebacker going to Miami, but can catch 2. It would lead to this. Tommy Spurnell running it in for the Casey touchdown. RBC up 7-0, just the start. Bishop Eustace would have no answer, although they would try soon after. But check out this play. Mike DeMonte picks it off and takes it back for 6. 62-7. Next Friday night, they are out for revenge against St. Joe's Montvale. Let's go down the shore today. Neptune hosting Freehold Borough in Central Group 4. Our Jason Kahn has more.
For the past 3 years, Neptune has beaten Freehold Borough in the regular season, but the last time these two met in the playoffs was 2010, right before that winning streak started, and Freehold Borough got the win. Question is, did history repeat itself? Number 4 Neptune hosting number 5 Freehold Borough. Middletown South getting their film day in up close. Who will be their opponent? First quarter, Royal Moore had to sit the first 3 games of the season because of transfer rules. Puts Neptune on the board 7-0.
Sitting out those first 3 was just hard. It was just hurt. Practice, I was just going 100%, not trying to pay attention to it, and I came back hoping it would be a successful team, and this is what happened.
But what happens next is this. Freehold Borough strikes back. Jake Curry to Bailey Indersky, 14 yards, ties it at 7. Second quarter, Moore hands off to Jari Parrish. Goes around the far right corner for the 8-yard score. Neptune retakes the lead. They score again before the half. Moore, showing off his arm here, hits the big 6'4 junior Isaiah Calhoun. 29-yard touchdown, a 21-7 Neptune lead at half.
It's all about believing in each other, staying alive, and just staying aggressive on the defensive side of the ball.
Freehold Borough talking it over, digging for inspiration. Could the defense provide it? They try. Jamel Smith-Rush with the pick, but the Colonials unable to capitalize. Curry fumbles the snap, Mijot Berry jumps on it, and that is the story. Neptune's defense shuts out Freehold Borough in the final 3 quarters to pick up the 21-7 win. Painful for the Colonials, Neptune's season continues.
It was great. Everybody was swimming to the ball, being aggressive, not too aggressive, and kept up the high intensity.
We're happy with it, but we were ready to move on to next week. We enjoyed the win for 24 hours. They know that. They got 24 hours to smile, and then we're back to work on Monday.
Neptune advances to play Middletown South. Both met in week 2 of this season. Middletown South won that game. In Neptune, Jason Kahn, Saturday Night Football.
Also in Central Group 4, how about this matchup next weekend in the semis? Jackson Memorial surging, that win against RBC, a victory in round 1 versus Middletown North, turning to Brick Township. Meantime, Brick here in the first round taking care of Princeton. Brick already beat Jackson during the regular season. In North 2 Group 2, Bernards and Lincoln meet today in the first round. Let's go to Hudson County. Bernards the 6th seed, Lincoln at 3. First quarter, Lincoln gets a quick touchdown. How about this? Tyquan Simmons over the top from a couple yards out. They're up 6-zip. Later, Bernards comes back. Watch this play. Tyler Baum finds Jordan Tantliff with a one-handed catch. A first down. They're driving. Carter Gilpin, 5-yard touchdown run. Bernards with the extra point takes the lead 7-6. Back and forth kind of game. Zymire Gordon finds Darius Wade. Wade determined to find the end zone. 19-yard play. Lincoln moves on 36-21. They play Madison next week. I'm Nick Medanis. You're watching playoff coverage around New Jersey here on Saturday Night Football. Coming up, heartbreak last year for Shabazz in the sectional final. Trying to get back. New Providence, though, standing in the way. Phillipsburg out to repeat in North 2 Group 4. They beat Mendham last year in the final, facing them again here in the first round. Driving on Mendham, it's a handoff to Joe Mazzo. 7-yard touchdown run. State Liners just getting started. Later, it's Noah Conrad rolling, goes deep. The tip ball into the hands of Montel Britton. 26-yard touchdown. It's 21-0 by halftime. Watch this run. Manny Romero with a cutback. Breaks a couple of tackles, 15 yards, 33-0. Woodbridge is next. Heartbreak for Shabazz last year in the sectional final, losing to Hoboken on a late score. Union County today, Shabazz is the 6th seed at New Providence. First quarter, Shabazz on the move and going deep, but New Providence with a big play. Matthew McCann picks off the pass. He's on the move, but New Providence would stall on offense, and that is a theme throughout the day. Shabazz quarterback Zaire Fogel shakes off that pick and hits Tariq Haskins just shy of the goal line. They go to the ground. Joshua Frederick. Shabazz rolling along, 12-3 at the half. Problems for New Providence. They struggle to get going. Haskins with the hit. Shabazz versus Belvedere in the semifinals, 39-10. They win today. Marist has a 2-8 regular season. Still, they fight on today in the playoffs against St. Anthony's. Yards hard to come by in the first quarter. How about St. Anthony on defense? Devin Terry with the sack. No score after 1, but it's not long before St. Anthony gets going on offense, and it's bad news for Marist. Eli Terry has a big day. The first of 4 touchdowns, 268 yards just for Terry. St. Anthony is a 40-0 winner. Summit was going for a 3rd straight perfect season, but they lost last month to Cranford. Still have a chance at a 3rd straight title. Let's go to Union. Morris Hills driving on Summit in the first quarter today, but Summit is gonna set the tone on defense. Andrew Helmer makes the interception at about the 1-yard line, goes the other way with it, pushed out of bounds at midfield. Summit tries to get something started offensively. Peter McKinley airs it out. Drew Mulholland with the catch. Summit strikes first, and they would strike enough. Watch them swarm on defense. Morris Hills tries a quick throw out. Pat Maloney, Stevie Ranero leading the charge. Summit wins in round 1. They face Parsippany Hills in the semis, 29-17, the final today. Still to come on this playoff edition of Saturday Night Football, to Rutherford, where St. Mary's takes on Morris Catholic. St. Mary's finishes its regular season undefeated. The number 2 team in non-public Group 1 taking on the 7 seed Morris Catholic. Coach Mike Sheridan trying to get St. Mary's back in the state title game. They use their defense to get there. Christian Castro makes the stop at the line of scrimmage, no gain. Gales haven't given up more than 2 touchdowns since week 1. Third quarter, Morris Catholic punting. Darius Storm receiving, and he is going to make several Morris Catholic defenders miss and return it all the way for the touchdown. St. Mary's wins big, 47-6. You see plays like this, the coach sees team defense.
If you look at our stats throughout the year, our defense really brings it every week, and they did it again today. Great job.
A lot of fans out for Bridgewater, Raritan, and Westfield. Bridgewater trying to get a spark early. Conlon Farrell to Ethan Christensen. Westfield defense all over him. Farrell having trouble going deep, looking for Corey Brennan, but Brett Robertshaw nearly intercepts it. At this point in the game, they are trying to rally, but they cannot. Westfield wins 24-14.
It's awesome. It's awesome. I think this is the first playoff game we've won. Westfield has won in I don't know how many years, but it's really awesome.
We played Linden in the first week of October, and we lost them in overtime 15-14 on a 2-point conversion. And, you know, that's a team we've wanted ever since then. You know, getting a rematch with them is just huge.
We saw 2-win teams in the playoffs, others with similar records, choosing to opt out. State rule giving them that option. St. Joe's Metuchen at practice this week, choosing to play in the consolation bracket. They finished with a 3-5 record. Team required to make the decision to opt out 3 weeks before the end of the season. Coach says it is about refusing to settle for mediocrity.
This is not backing down anybody. This is not pulling out of anything. This is just about what's best for our program. And again, I want to reiterate the fact that this has to do with below average play this year.
Does it speak to the system? Only recently sub-500 teams qualifying. Bishop R also goes from the state playoff bracket to the consolation rounds. They don't see a problem with it as long as they have the power to make that call.
I think as long as there's a rule that a team like our situation or a team like St. Joe's situation can opt out, that it's fine. But again, that's a little bit out of my pay grade, so I don't really want to comment too much on that one.
He says health is also a factor, losing 22 kids, 22 since the beginning of the season, and doesn't want any more to go down. I'm Nick Medanis. Highlights continue with New Egypt and Middlesex coming up. And if you missed our story last night on Hackensack's 12th man, Friday Night Football is on news12.com. Central Regional winning here in round one. The Eagles beat Oakcrest 28-14. It's Central's first playoff victory in 20 years. They were supposed to be home. Their field is under construction, so they played at Toms River East. Top-seeded Allentown is next. The season is over for one of the state's top quarterbacks, Mike Dare, going to Rutgers next year. Throws for about 2,000 yards and 25 touchdowns this year. Listed at 6'5", 205, has a big arm. Leads Elmwood Park on a 7-game regular season win streak, and then Friday night happens, and they lose to Pequannock in a close game, 21-20. New Egypt at Middlesex, both 6-2. Middlesex takes over early, though. A.J. Abate with the handoff to Anthony Marshall, finding his way into the end zone for 17 yards. Middlesex up 6-0. Also coming up big on special teams. Gary Joquim with the hit. Middlesex adding to that lead. Abate with the handoff to Kayshawn Wilson. Looks like he's going to take it in for the score, but you got to appreciate the hustle from R.J. Lees. Middlesex would capitalize on the play. Matthew Hode puts up 6 more, and they're up 12-0 at this point. New Egypt trying to get something going. Michael McGuire, not going to let that happen. Middlesex wins big, 47-7. Sounds good in Middlesex. Bergen County, Riverdale fans, last year you might remember losing at the Meadowlands to Sparta. They want another crack at North 1 Group 3, hosting Lodi, running past Lodi. Dylan Connolly, 48 yards, 21-0 after 1. Back to the ground, they go inside, it's Matt Lanza breaking free, 34 yards to the house. All Riverdale, they get Ramapo next. Tough competition in Central Group 5. One team's undefeated, 3 teams with just 1 loss, and that does include Hillsborough, fired up to face Monroe. Can't look past Monroe, though. 6-3 coming in, and this is something, though, that Monroe would not afford to do in the red zone, handing off and fumbling. Jared Sinertia recovers at the 1-yard line. Scoreless after 1. Second quarter, Hillsborough goes to work. Matt Moore up the middle. Late cutback, but Matt Van de Sand pursuing for Monroe. Still, the Raiders are going to be hard to stop from here. Ed Trimper to Scott Levinitis. Has it, drops it, but he breaks the plane, and the ref says, yes, touchdown. That's Sparks Hillsborough. They are on to the semifinals. 34-7 is the final against Monroe, and they will face Manalapan in the semifinals next weekend. I'm Nick Medanis. We will have coverage of those semifinals. We'll be here for a half hour on Friday night and Saturday night, both nights starting at 10:30. Scores from the weekend on our Facebook page. Just search News 12 NJ Friday Night Football. Yet to see Paramus Catholic. Expectations high for the Paladins. They get a bye this week, but they will take aim once again at Don Bosco next week.